Hello, friends, followers, and other people that I know care about and watch my channel. Welcome to the 200 subscriber special video, and I am thrilled to be making this and posting it for all of you people. It has been a wild ride getting to 200 subscribers since I started my career on YouTube. It has been quite fun and exciting to be meeting all of you guys. What a thrill! I'm just hoping that the next big milestone is going to be 300, and then 400, 500. Who knows how many of you guys are going to come in the next following years. What a thrill it's been to be a content creator, and even though I'm not a big one, it still means a lot to me that the people who watch my videos consistently come back for more, and the people who watch them leave such thrilling and kind comments to read that really make my day as a content creator. Now, I know that normally in my commentary videos I appear as in the form of cosplay, and that you don't usually see my normal face behind, you haven't probably seen my unmakeup, covered face since a short that I posted over a month ago talking about a song I wrote that since I have never posted because it is shit. But, yeah, anyway, this video is a very personal and more, this is gonna be a weird word to use, intimate video to me because it talks about something that I find very personal and someone else who would find it very personal and deep. I filmed it in my bed because I wanted you all to see the Airways flag in the background, and also because I want you to feel comfortable and safe as I feel comfortable and safe in this location. Unlike when I posted my Angel Dust reading a story video, I wanted to have that video wanted to feel more like I was reading a bedtime story, but it was Angel reading you a bedtime story. Now, let's begin. As requested, all of you 10 people who voted on my poll requested, by barely winning, that I talk about why Alastor is not good asexual representation. This is a more serious subject. A lot of my videos are not such serious subjects, and they're more goofy and lighthearted. And I was personally hoping that you guys would want me to read a fan fiction, because I just wanted to post this video on my own time, but I'm thrilled by the amount of people who wanted to hear my opinion. Now, lots of you people mostly also are, I am willing to bet that you guys are also at least subscribed to one of the people I'm about to mention. You're subscribed to Cinemunch, you're subscribed to TwoDream, or you're subscribed to, I don't remember the name, it's like Bubba? One of these, the big has-been content creators. You, if you are subscribed to TwoDream, have probably seen the video talking about how Alastor is quote-unquote good asexual representation. That video is a good video. However, I completely disagree. Alastor is terrible asexual representation. And before I talk about anything else, I just want to talk about how Alastor, in my opinion, is a great character, and I love him. Everything I'm saying today is just an opinion of mine. Your opinion is valid. Everyone's opinion is valid. And by saying this, I'm talking about how Alastor isn't good asexual representation, I'm not saying I don't support asexual people. If you are asexual yourself, I fully support you, and just know that you have an ally and a friend in me. Also, I'm not saying I hate Alastor, I'm just saying I don't like how he's representing the asexual community, because I'm asexual. And I already have to go through enough bullshit on a daily basis with being asexual. So, I'm going to start by talking about a little bit more background on this. So, originally, when I joined the hazbin fandom, one of the very first things I learned was that Alastor was asexual. Along with the fact that Angel Dust was not, in fact, a girl, as I had thought. But it's kind of funny how much discourse is over the subject of Alastor's asexuality. Many people ignore it because they just don't like it, or they don't feel like they want to include it. And this is the more creative aspect side of the fandom, the fandom content writers and the fandom artists, even the fandom themselves do not, some of them are extremely protective of Alastor's asexuality. They're like, he's my baby, and if you dare not asexual him in your fanfiction, I'm gonna eat you. And then some of them are like, okay, sure, he can be not asexual in some fan fictions and some fan art if they know it's in a subcan universe, and some of them are like, ew, ace, ew. I want to share that I am none of these stereotypes, I would hope, and I write fan fiction myself. Sometimes I sometimes comply to canon standards, I sometimes do not comply to canon standards. Like, both of my currently published fan fictions portray Alastor as, one of them portrays him as not ace, the other one portrayed him as ace, although it's kind of hard to read whether or not he's ace because he's only in one fanfic, he's only like mentioned vaguely in that one. And then the third one I'm currently writing, I'm going to try my best to portray him as ace. Now, I have never portrayed Alastor as arrow ace in a fanfiction because I personally do not like feel he is arrow ace. If he was, I would not be angry because I'm knowing people who are arrow ace, and I would love to see more arrow ace representation, but my headcanon is that he's gay and ace. However, if he is not, I would respect that and stop writing fan fictions where he was ace and gay, because I would not be complying with canon standards. Now I know there's gonna be some people in the comments below who are gonna be like, but Alastor was confirmed canonically arrow ace. I'm gonna say he wasn't, because it depends on how you want to think about it. Because this was posted in a TikTok by Amir Talai a while ago, where he talked about how people were asking him a lot if Alastor was or wasn't arrow ace. Alastor is not in the show confirmed to be arrow ace. Sure, he's confirmed to be ace by an offhand comment from Rosie, but he is not confirmed arrow ace. He, by the creator, is thought to be arrow ace, and Amir has said that in her head she thinks Alastor is arrow ace. However, it is not confirmed within the show. So it depends on how you want to think about it. And for me, I like to think that if it's my interpretation of the character, not anybody else's, I think that he's this, but I know that in the show he might have a different direction, so I'm not going to think that this is canon or anything. But, yeah. But now I want to talk about the real plot, not just the offhand things. It's time to get to the real meat and core of this video, because I don't want you to sit here for the next 20 minutes being bored out of your mind. Alastor is not good asexual representation. This is shown in many ways. So I have a main plot point for this, because when I was watching TwoDream's video, I started to notice that when I thought about Alastor at first, I thought he was fine asexual representation. I didn't really notice his asexuality being in a bad light until I started to realize that I was ace myself. That's when I began to read about the real struggles in the ace community of being seen as heartless and being seen as robotic, being seen as people who don't have emotions just because they lack on the physical aspect of things. It is even harder to be aromantic too, not to mention. Aromantic people do not feel romantic attraction, which in some ways can be seen as the only form of true love. Like, even, like, some people, or like ace people, at least are capable of love, but aromantic people, the only love they get is the platonic and sexual kind, which is, quote-unquote, easily replaced. However, it is not, and I can attest to this. Now, I know that many of you are going to say that that isn't true, that aromantic people can indeed still fall in love. And sure, they can, but the backlash but some don't, and some never will. Some are perfectly happy being aromantic. But this circles back to the thing about asexuality. Not all aromantic people are heartless. Almost none of them are. I know kind, loving, honest aromantic people who have big hearts and are nothing like robots. I know asexual people who are kind and caring and would do anything for the people they know around them. Never in my life have I met an asexual person who was robotic, rude, unkind, and just downright evil. Now that is the worst stereotype that it is existing. That stereotype of asexual people are heartless, robotic, cruel, evil, inhuman. It's even worse when you're aromantic. And asexual. It's terrible, especially if you have to deal with living in a place where people are not tolerating of your aromanticism or your asexuality. Unfortunately, I have had to deal with people, even my own friends, saying that you are not asexual, you're too young to be deciding that, you aren't ace because that's not possible. Everyone falls in love at some point. I've even had that narrative in my own family, though they have never been abusive and never been hurtful to me. My own family are very grateful people, and over time they have come to understand my asexuality, though they never fully will truly understand the nuances of being asexual because they are all allosexuals. However, they support me and love me, so do not think that my family is abusive or hurtful to me. But then again, we're backing up to the asexual thing. Alastor is playing into an extremely negative and harmful stereotype that many ace people face. He is an evil, conniving, and manipulative character, and though that is such an enthralling part of his personality and people would like to see him change, it is playing into a harmful stereotype that all asexual people are evil. Now, you might be saying that that is just altogether not true, and that it is fake, and that he's just evil, and that's just part of him. But no. When people are seen like that, it just influences stigma to the asexual community that is super harmful and hard to deal with. You think asexual people have had it easy throughout history? You're wrong. People have had us pressured throughout time to marry, to fall in love. It has been a woman's sole duty in life sometimes seen to only marry a man, to have children, everything. And not all ace people want that. Ace people over time have been having some of the hardest times. You think it might have been harder to be gay or bi? No, it was just as hard, if not harder, to be ace or aro, or dare I say it, aro ace. Now, we are lucky enough, spoiled enough to be living in a time where ace and aro ace people can live their lives freely. But even that isn't so. In other parts of the world where society isn't as far as it is in some first world countries like the United States, the UK, Canada, France, who knows? People still face boundaries and stigma just for who they are. Now, I'm getting a little emotional about this, I'm sorry. But the way Alastor is shown is just is showing that, like, ace people have it easy, and, like, that it can just be in a way that it's just really harmful to be seen in a way where you're evil and you're hurting people, and the way you are is just some kind of heartless monster. It was, and I know that vivziepop herself is ace. She's shared it, she's talked about it, but she should know that creating a character in this light is harmful and negative and hurts people. And I know that it's cringe and that being on the verge of tears is bad and everything to be in a YouTube video, but this is just so hurtful to me because I've faced it myself. And that another ace person could do this to a community is fucking disgusting. You are openly betraying your community when you create a character that is a serial killer and is hurting people, who is ace. You are hurting the community's reputation. You are hurting us ace people. You are hurting everyone by having such a hard, terrible representation. Now, that was very intense. But vivziepop, if you are ever watching this video and you are ever seeing this, I hope you know that there are ace people out there who are hurt, who are disappointed in you, who are downright fucking mad for creating such a horrible, terrible, vile representation of being ace. However, there aren't all negative sides to Alastor's asexuality. For example, we do get a good character that does have some emotional depth. It could be worse. Alastor could be seen as all evil by the community and hated. However, he does get some supporters and a lot of love, which does help in some light help the asexual community be more seen and more enjoyed. However, when he is portrayed in such an emotionless, negative light, it kind of goes back to the stereotype that asexuals are robotic and don't experience feelings. Because Alastor is so driven by his need for power and his want for, like, to never have connections with no explanation of why, which I find very, like, concerning, that there's no explanation of how Alastor became the way he was. Not that asexuality is, like, developed over time. I mean, it could be, if you're some ways, but, like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Alastor's, like, evilness. You're not born evil. No one is born evil. You have to face something in your life that makes you the way they are. You think about people in prison who are serial killers. A lot of them were abused as children. It is extremely rare. Like, almost, I don't think anyone wakes up and is like, I'm gonna kill someone today, without having something happen to them first that gives them that thought that everything is bad enough that they must do that. Like, I don't even think that, Nifty was, like, made the way she was, because that is not possible. Nifty probably had to go through some trauma too. Nobody is born insane or crazy. You have to go through something that makes you that way first. And the fact that we don't get any explanation and that we have to dig through old lore to see what is with Alastor is just concerning, because it's playing into the stereotype that ace people are emotionless. And that is not true at all. Have you seen ace people? They can be in loving, happy, committed relationships, friendships, loving relationships their whole life. Not all ace people are heartless and cold, and just because maybe one is or two are, or maybe you've met one who is, doesn't mean that all ace people are. Now, I hate to use myself as an example, but look at me in this video. I literally just almost broke down crying a few minutes ago. You think that's emotionless? You're wrong. But, yeah, that is basically why. But when you hear this, I don't want you to go off and slander Vivzie or anyone for saying Alastor is good ace representation. I just want you to say, by saying that, you are supporting the stigmatization and negative portrayal of ace people. Now, in the future, this portrayal could obviously change. Alastor could begin to experience emotions, genuinely care for people, have a character arc that shows him growing as a character, rather than faltering and immediately turning to the dark side and ultimately losing himself to the darkness. This could happen. We don't know. There are 5 seasons of Hazbin ahead, possibly more, possibly less, that we could see Alastor gain a new perspective. We could see him find a way to show who he is safely, healthily, happily. We could find him finally beginning to open up to people. We could have him beginning to have his emotions expressed in a more healthy way while still keeping that signature Alastor energy that so many people love and care for. I am one of those people. I love Alastor's character, and I love him so much. I simply just don't wish that he was portrayed in a light that was so damaging and negative. Now, I know that you could easily say that Alastor is good asexual representation in many ways. Because he is such a popular character, he's popularizing ace representations to many people who did not have access to learning about their asexuality first. However, this negative light of asexuality may force some closeted asexual people to think, oh, I'm not asexual because I care about the people around me. And that obviously means that I'm not asexual. I just need to find the right person first. You don't. Go on living your life happy and single. Go. Do it. Go. Go, 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 go. I'm kidding. If you want to find a partner, that's fine. Ace people can fall in love, but if you think you have to be some kind of walking, talking, robotic, emotionless person to be ace, you're wrong. You can be loving, you can be kind, you can be feeling, you can even have a partner if you want. Nothing is stopping you right now if you want to have a partner and a committed, loving relationship from having one. Take it from me. I am in a queer platonic relationship right now. My asexuality is not stopping me from making connections, having friends, and altogether experiencing my loving heart to the fullest. But when someone shuts themselves off in such a dark, hard place to be, with the asexual light, it can being shown on them in a different light that they don't think is correct. They may spend the rest of their lives wondering what is wrong with them and why they could never figure it out. So if you are questioning being ace right now, but you don't think you are because you might have had a relationship in the past, you might experience feelings very intensely, you might think that you have attraction, you're not alone, because I myself was in that place. This is going to be a hard topic for me to talk about. I have been in 4 non-platonic relationships in the past. One of these relationships was extremely damaging and harmful to my mental health and my altogether perception of romance. For 6 months after I broke up with that person, I did not date. For many people, that doesn't seem like long at all. If you're an adult watching this video, you think, oh, that's just a segment of your life. But to me, it was important. It taught me that I needed to learn how to feel who I was first before leaping into a relationship, finding healthy boundaries and consent. During that time, I thought I was an ace because I'd kissed people. I'd connected with them. I'd even been touched. Not sexually. But, yeah, I thought I wasn't, for sure. I thought I wasn't, to say, aromantic in the least. But then, I went into another relationship. A kind, healthy, loving, committed relationship. I cared for this person deeply, and I still did for so long, and it took me ages to get the weight off my back when they broke up with me. When they broke up with me, looking back on the relationship, I realized something extremely important. During the whole relationship, I had felt like there was something off in me the whole time. I had felt a puzzle piece inside my chest had not been clicking throughout this loving relationship. I hadn't felt the urge to kiss. I hadn't wanted to do anything else. I had felt strange in the first hour of the relationship. I'm like, fudge, why am I in this? Can't I get out? And then I just stopped having those feelings. But I realized in that time that looking back on every relationship I'd ever had, the best times I'd had were not the times kissing, hugging, cuddling, saying sweet nothings. Just being with the friend like a person, just being with the relationship like a friend was what had felt the most important to me. And that is when I realized that I was not simply omni as I had thought. I wasn't just choosy. I wasn't recipromantic. I was airways. And that news destroyed me. For months, I felt terrible, and I'd have to deal with the fact that when I had got this flag at first, I thought it was a symbol of my rebellion against romance, my push away from my old relationship. But then I realized what it really was symbolizing who I truly was inside. Not just an object, not just something to be pushed aside. And the heartbreak of realizing that I would never fall in love like most people was crushing. For months, I would feel bad. I'd tell all my friends, I'll never fall in love now. I'd even say, someday when I get married still. I wasn't accepting who I was. I'd proudly say I was airways and then come home crying later because I just wanted love so bad, but I couldn't have it. I am a romantic soul who loves, always has loved, and only wanted to be loved as my end goal in life. During the months when I realized I was airways, I realized there are more than one way to love. There are many, many ways to love, and romantic and sexual love is just a part of them. I don't need romantic and sexual love to be a happy, committed, and altogether complete person in the world. I just need the people around me who love and care and support me. For example, I used to constantly say, when I get married, when I grow up, you're all gonna have to come to my wedding and cosplay. Now I say, I don't think I'm gonna get married when I grow up, because I realize that I would much rather spend my life simply with someone else, just together for fun, laughing like friends, in just a queer platonic relationship. If marriage comes up along the way, that's great. But I don't want to have kids. I want to have fur babies. I used to say, 4 kids! I want 4 kids! Now I'm like, no kids, none, not a zip zilch. And then my favorite thing that I have moved on, I want to grow up and fall in love. Nope. Now I say, I'm not sure I want to fall in love when I grow up. I don't think I can. I don't want to fall in love when I grow up. And I'm perfectly happy just the way that I am. No change is needed. Now, this has all been a very personal and intimate video to make for myself. I have had this idea sitting on my computer for a while. And now that it is out there, I can't believe it. I'm very proud of myself and you for making it through the whole 28 minutes I assume this video is going to be. Thank you. Now, one last thing. Please, in the comments below, I'm going to have them turned off. Do not say anything personally hurtful or negative to any Hazbin fan who likes Alastor after this, if you've watched it and your perspective has changed of him. Please don't, because I am one of those people. Despite my firm belief that I think Alastor is not good asexual representation, I think he's an amazingly written character and has a very deep depth. However, that is just my way of seeing him. If you feel that he isn't a character you like anymore due to his, light he's shown in, that's fine. However, I choose to look past all this and look upon the fact that he is, in fact, a good character. But he will never be good ace representation until he shows a healthier light for the ace community. Now, that is all I have to say. Thank you for watching, and please support the channel and tell your friends and family, and be sure to watch some of my other videos because YouTube thinks you like them. And most importantly, I hope you all have a good day and you pass away. Bye. You better turn around the other way.